Hey friends, welcome to One Flight Down. Welcome to the Terry Isle Tasting Lounge. Today we're checking out a new beer from the Sookram's Brewing Company. This one is a red ale called SuperRad. Right, it is a snowy, blustery day here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. I was going with this great shot of the snowstorm outside my window, and I set it up, and then it just kind of slowed down. If it picks up again, I'll pan it over. But yeah, it was looking like just so dramatic just a minute ago, and then it slowed down. Yeah, winters in Winnipeg, always a good time. Well, yeah, it's starting to come down again. Look at that. Just another beautiful snowy day in Winnipeg, Manitoba. So yeah, this beer comes to me courtesy of my friend Ed. I really appreciate this one too because I'm a big fan of Sookram's. I try to keep up on all their releases. But this one kind of eluded me. It's a collaboration with the Beer Boutique, which I would say is like one of the top 2 beer stores in Winnipeg. I don't get out that way though. It's an area town I don't spend a lot of time in these days. So yeah, thank you so much, Ed, for picking this one up for me. And yeah, I think it's the first time Sookram's has done a red ale. I don't seem to remember a red ale being something they've done before. It's 6% alcohol. Says it is a collaboration brew with the Beer Boutique. This beer is deep amber in color and has flavors of caramel, toffee, and toasted malt with subtle hints of dried fruits like raisin and figs. Sounds pretty good. And they always do a dedication on their cans. Sookram's Brewing. This one is dedicated to flamingos. Yeah, so those of us who live in Winnipeg know that the area of town where the Beer Boutique is, Transcona, is known for pink flamingos. I grew up there in the 1980s when the pink flamingo craze was at its craziest. Yeah, like it was like every street, you could almost guarantee you had someone with pink flamingos in their yard. Yeah, so anyway, so this is dedicated to flamingos. They also have a flamingo as the mascot at the Beer Boutique. So if you've been there, you may know that. If you haven't been there, it's worth visiting. Like I said, it's one of the best beer stores we have here in the city. Carries, I think, like all of the local craft beers, and you can get a lot out of province stuff there too. Stuff from Ontario, Alberta, that kind of thing. Yeah, good selection of beers. So anyway, let's get into this one. Let's crack it open. And I do have, of course, some appropriately branded Sookram's glassware. I used to be really into red ales. Not a style I go for as much as I used to. I tend to go more for the hoppier beers than the maltier beers these days. But it is quite attractive. It's a nice deep red. You're not seeing my face through that at all. The head is dissipating quite quickly. A little bit of a tan color to the head. Let's get a nose on this. Yeah, like a light malty note on the nose. Yeah, yeah, a light roasted malt kind of a note. All right, let's go in for a taste. Cheers, my friends. Okay, that's pretty decent. It's a little on the sweet side, as a lot of red ales are. But it's got a really nice, smooth finish to it. I would say this would be more of a slower sipping beer for me. It's funny because when I think of red ales, when I used to drink them a lot, they're the kind of beers I pounded back quite a bit. And I'm thinking like the big brands at that time would have been like Rickard's Red. I'm blanking on some of the others, but there was a time when red ales were a lot more common. I think Keith's did one that I really liked. Yeah, they were the kind of beers I tended to pound back fairly quickly. But I find this is a little sweeter than I remember red ales generally being. Yeah, it's a touch sweeter, but not in a bad way. It's certainly not overpowering in the sweetness. And yeah, it's, like I said, a nice smooth finish. But that little bit of that sweetness is there. It's going to make you sip it a little more slowly. It's not going to be like a crushable kind of a beer. But it's pretty decent overall. I would have this again. If I don't know if Sookram's has this on tap at the brewery or if it's just available at the beer boutique. Like I said, usually I'm pretty on top of the releases, and I didn't know about this one, so I have a feeling maybe it's only available at the beer boutique. I'm not sure. Like I said, it could be available at the brewery as well, so if you happen to be visiting there, it's worth trying. Decent beer overall. Ed, thank you so much for getting this one to me, and to the rest of you, thank you so much for dropping by the Terry Isle Tasting Lounge. See you all again real soon, my friends. Cheers.
I'm tired and I need to go home. Been here all week, just drinking